I am going to hand you over to our USI President, Clare Austick, who is going to give us some closing statements.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Megan. But first of all, I just want to say what like a morning it has been. So I've been tasked with the job to kind of do a little like overview of the day, some of the common themes that we spoke about, pointers that really kind of stuck with me. But I do have to say that it's been absolutely incredible listening to so many great speakers who have so much insight and knowledge on student engagement, participation, enhancing the student voice. And I think these days are so important to share that knowledge and remember why we're doing this in the first place. And when we talk about student engagement and participation and consultation and enhancing the student voice, ultimately it comes down to trying improving our higher education system and making sure that students get the most meaningful, effective college experience and student experience possible. This might be very applicable to the academic learning setting, but we all know that the college experience is so much more than just what happens in the learning environment. And I really believe that the different tools and skills that students get and class reps get when participating in the National Student Engagement Programme and different trainings that the programme also delivers is what they can take in wider society and in the community. I think we've come such a long way from when we first started in 2016, and I was actually a class rep who got one of the first trainings back in the day when I was a second year science class rep. But if we look about like how far we've come from 2016 all the way to now, doing like workshops or even like getting student engagement and partnership on the agenda and talking about what it really means, that it's not a tick the box exercise, how we get, colleges to think about, students and how they can learn from students, how it's not just, academic focused or those who've been in the HEI sphere for years. So today we've spoken about so much on, student engagement, partnerships in higher education institutions, fostering student partnership, enhancing student representation, and even going forward, I think the HEA bill hopefully will help with that as well. So even like seeing how like national policy is being implemented and affected as a result of this program, it just speaks volumes for how successful it has been. One of the learnings in particular with COVID, I know COVID has been awful for many, but if anything, it has increased the engagement and accessibility of students around the country and class reps being able to engage in all the different workshops and trainings that have been provided. So even going forward, I think we definitely need to hold on to the in-person element, but we can absolutely build on the online capacity that we now have built. We have a new strategy, which is fantastic, and I just want to thank everyone who was involved in developing that. Again, it's building on the first couple of ones, the program itself, and looking forward where we want to be in a couple of years time. I think the steps to partnership as well, the framework that was launched a couple of months back, is really, really great as well for colleges to look at when we think about changing the culture and changing the way we engage, and looking outside of the box and trying to unlearn maybe attitudes and mindsets that we've had over the last number of years in terms of what is a higher education setting in Ireland. Where do we want to go in the future? How do we empower students? How do we make sure that students become active citizens in society? So yeah, that's me just kind of going on a rant. But I really do believe that student engagement is the way forward in terms of even changing the world and making a difference in society. So I don't think anyone can underestimate the importance and the value of NStEP. I just want to thank everyone who was involved, Oisín in particular, who is an absolute driver, Megan, who has been here as well, the partners, everyone who's been involved today. It really is so empowering, like listening to you, and it always reminds me why we're in this sphere, why we're trying to do the things that we do. But yeah, thank you for letting me contribute in some way, and I just want to thank everyone for participating, engaging, and this is to shaping the landscape of higher education institutions for many years to come, for the better for all students. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Claire. What a way to wrap up. Yeah, so absolutely, and thank you so much for everyone coming along today. I have to say, I rarely enjoy half-day online conferences as much as I have done this one. I can say truthfully, it has re-energized me, particularly looking into our last few weeks of this kind of term of student representation. And of course, I would encourage you all to welcome your student representatives with open arms over the next few months, and remember that you have the information and the knowledge to put them on the best possible opportunities in the future. So echo what Claire already said. I would like to say a huge thank you to the NStEP Programme Manager, Oisin Hassan, for absolutely Trojan work, always, but particularly over the last few months. Our colleagues in the Higher Education Authority and QQI, Vivian, Karina and Laura, you're always there to help us every step of the way. The NStEP student trainers and interns, and particularly thanks to Michaela and Diane for chairing sessions today. Ultimately, these are the people who make the work that we talk about possible. Everyone that provided feedback and participated in the consultation processes for this strategy, it really is magnificent. So I hope you have all had half as good a time as I have had today, and that you're able to network and have contacts going forward. And hopefully we will see you at all of the NStEP networks that will be coming back in force over the next few months and years. So have a lovely afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us today. All the best.